I knew that 3 hours into the date. I knew this when we got engaged 6 months. Of course, there's that 6 months again. 6 months, rush to the altar. You don't have time. Let's make some babies. I love you. Here's some pussy. All right, here we go. Let's get married.
And I knew that again and again and again. But I didn't want to know that.
I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to face reality. I didn't want to see myself as this evil.
Because I really wanted the relationship to work.
She wanted the relationship to work. Why? Because it was suiting her. Protection, finances, stability, good man, image, clean up her image. She could be a wife instead of a harlot. Yep, it worked.
And I think what was so hard was that we were good friends. We had a great time together. I loved the work he was doing. I loved the way we collaborated.
Yep, collaborated partner. He was ambitious. This is the sex over life whole video. We collaborated. I liked the way he worked. He was ambitious. We were good friends. We got along together. We laughed. We ha-ha'd and kiki'd. All right.
And on paper, everything looked like a good match.
Yep, it looked like a good match. He's white. He's white bread. He's tall. He's handsome. He's debonair. You know what I mean? He's good. He got a good family. He comes from good stock. He has a house. He has a car. All that. Okay, suburban community, gated white picket fence, golden retriever. Yep. But he don't get my pussy wet, though. My pussy was drier than the Sahara Desert.
But I still knew that something was missing.
The streets. Okay?
In these streets.
That's what was missing. Excitement. Danger. Okay? Stand up in the middle of the fucking night, 2 a.m. Drug dealing, gang banging, all right, orgies, excitement, herpes. That was what's missing. Excitement.
In these streets.
This guy's boring. And what do you call it? Sex in the parking garage, elevators, changing rooms. That all goes away. Now you're getting missionary.
It's funny because I lead journaling workshops and I always ask people, what truth are you afraid to admit to yourself and why? And it was the question that I avoided the most.
I avoided. This is why I tell you, man, you got to press them. I know they're going to be like, but I'm just a girl. I'm a just innocent woman and I wouldn't do anything like that. Press them because they're avoiding answering the truth. You got to press their ass. Do not feel bad. Press their ass.
Because the truth I was afraid to admit to myself is that I no longer wish to be in my marriage.
So they're afraid to admit to themselves their own truth. Imagine what they're afraid to admit to you. All right, they just want to be in Delulu right here. I just wanted to leave. I was afraid to admit it, though.
Admitting that to myself meant I'd have to blow everything up. And in a lot of ways, it was good and comfortable. There were so many...
The marriage was good and comfortable. But the fast money is gone. The excitement is gone. The multiple dicks is gone. All right, the going to the bar and flirting and all of that gone. All right, I got to be in the house in bed at 9:30. It's all gone. That's boring.
Reasons to try and make it work because it was more convenient. But
it was convenient. Not the love. Where's the love? I've been heard her say she loved this man once. I've been heard her say, I love this man once.
But I ultimately realized I didn't want to live a life that was convenient. I wanted to live a life that was courageous.
Courageous, inspirational, empowering. All right, this is all bitch babble. This is all. And yes, white women, plain Becky's can get you on this too, bro. But y'all want some what? Y'all want some burning desire out here. Y'all want it. Being a drug mule for Hector. Yep, she missed all that too. Hector used to send me from here, state to state, ocean to ocean. All right, but I miss all of that shit right here. Where is it at? Where's it at? All right, we got the main event coming up, man. Sheesh. Sheesh. Dude, I'm going to tell you, man, this is going to be something. I've said this. These women don't care about you, man. I don't care what you say. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. All right, they are survivalists. They don't care, man. Don't think they ever going to care more for you than they care about themselves. And they know a lot of times when they ain't shit. So they know. That I get I need money says men just overreport and women underreport because of shame. Indeed. Yep. Shout out to you. So that was related to the threesomes. H every day says gyms are being dropped GOAT status game. If you think I'm
So what he just said about survivalist and all that stuff. So there was, I don't know, I haven't uploaded the other videos, right? Because they're not complete. So Dr. K, I think from the Healthy Gamer. He's a therapist, right? And he was trying to make the distinction that what's going on today in the social market, in the dating markets, and in the date. And when I say markets, I just mean the sphere, right? The groups of people that are dating around, the groups of people that are socially more adapted, and all these things. So I disagreed with him because he said that it was we were just watching. Damn, I cut it wrong. We were just watching natural selection take place, right? But I don't think that's true. I don't think that this is based on natural selection at all. Because when we look at nature, their selection is about survival, right? So he said they're survivalists. But they're not survivalists for nature to live more, right? And to procreate. Like that would be survivalist. They're survivalists for resources. So they embody more what birds do, right? And the thing I said is that birds aren't necessarily survivalist because birds can fly. That means they'll always have a resource pool. Like birds migrate long distances. Like they go from Canada, what's it called? Ducks will go from Canada and geese will go from Canada down to Mexico and the Gulf, right? So that's not true that it's based on natural selection. I think it's based on social selection. And this social selection is because what we have today for humans is social dynamics, right? So humans are going to be social creatures that behave in pack behaviors, in animal pack behaviors. And the thing is that these animals won't necessarily do things that happen in nature, like that won't necessarily always follow their instincts because these animals are in pack behaviors, so they have to recognize other animals around them, wolves, and so but this thing happens that's specific to pack behavior. There will be an alpha, right, or a leader of the pack, and that's those are probably one of the only ones that mate usually. When we watch what's it called? Primitive. No, not primitive. Primates? When we Is it primates? Like what humans are part of, right? Monkeys, apes, gorillas. They do actually follow different type of social behaviors, but they still, in a sense, still have leaders. So in their social community, there's still someone that's the head of it, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like the father of the children and everything. Sometimes the head is just like the one that gets the most women, but he doesn't take care of the children, right? It's what I'm trying to say. So it isn't like humans that we have a person that takes care of them. Like we don't do that. Is it done? I think he's done. So that's the thing about it that I wanted to clarify. Like they are survivalists, but they're social survivalists. So They care about what their friends think about them, right? The social behavior that part members of the group will encourage towards them. I think it's what it's what I'm trying to say. Damn it! I didn't want fries. I wanted hash browns. Whatever. Fries are good. So they'll emulate social behaviors, right? Social cues are what enables them to make select. That's what they're doing. Following social cues. So although it is a survivalist mentality, it's not a survivalist when it comes to like nature, natural genetics and things like that. Because if that were the case, then like put this for example. I have a disabled relative, and she can barely walk sometimes. She has a huge limp. She's learned to walk better through time, though, but that's conditioning, right? Like a lot of things. It goes to the question that, like, if you're disabled, should you be procreating, right? And the thing is that, like, it's not a problem of like maybe like you shouldn't or should. It's a problem is who will you be procreating with? Because your pool of resources is not going to be the same as all these other girls. The issue is this: that girl, my relative, still wanted a man like all the other girls around her, without the self-awareness of who she was. So the thing is that I don't know if so she ends up having children, and luckily the children don't have a lot of birth defects. But who knows if they're gonna have mental defects? One of the childs is very, very attention-seeking. I was like that too, but he is aggressive and violent about it too. So who knows, right? Maybe nurture can fix things like that. We have talked about. We are conscious that there's a dichotomy between nurture and nature, right? But that's the thing about it here that goes here too. Women aren't choosing based on their nature; they're choosing based on their nurture, of their conditioning socially by their grandmas, their mothers, their friends, and other ex relationships as well. So yeah, no, let's not kid ourselves by believing that this is something that's natural, because if it was natural, we wouldn't be facing mass extinction. We wouldn't be believing that that's gonna happen to us, but it might, and that's why this isn't. Something that's natural. Okay, let's not believe that. It might be in some cases, right? But overall, the social dynamics that are happening, the social market is not showing that that's the case. Like, and the thing is, I'm really against that because it justifies women's wrong decisions. Like when they choose a 6 foot man, 6 figures, 6 inches, right? They end up getting a divorce. They realize that there was all physical attraction, and based on who would they look nice to. That's what they say. That's what the girls will say. Is like, women want a man that they look good next to, and then men will say that too, which is stupid because men are in the same boat as women as well. We're gonna make a breakfast sandwich with a little bit of coleslaw just to break all the fat. When was this? This was yesterday.
PC with Google Play Games.
This is my story. I was paid by Cassie Cassandra Ventura for 8 years to be her meal provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. I was given this Arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy.
So she already admitted in court that she would have these like infections so bad that after a while, like the medication was no longer working, and like that's how frequently she was getting these infections. Now, she later admitted, according to him, to contracting the STD and blamed
R.I.P. to her
Diddy's
husband.
infidelity, showing reckless regard for Clayton's health. Her action resulted, now this is where it gets a little messy, okay?
Damn.
Now, he's claiming that he got her pregnant.
If true, right? This is all alleged. It is wild to be a participant of a freak off in this wild ass lifestyle and not being on birth control. Crazy. The gentleman at the bottom of the screen here, if you are unfamiliar with his face, he goes by the name The Punisher. He was one of the escorts identified in the Diddy trial where Diddy and Cassie Ventura would hire male escorts.
You guys want to see how to break an egg with one hand? Okay. So when you crack an egg, it'll split right around where you hit it. So like if I hit it like this, it'll start splitting this way. If I hit it like this, it'll start splitting in half, right? So the pressure point that you apply, it'll be a perpendicular crack. Okay, so when we crack, you want to crack it long ways, right? So the tip of your egg is up here, the base of your egg is down here. So you want to crack it sideways, right? Now what you're doing is you're gonna grab, and basically with these two fingers and with your thumb, you're gonna pull apart. Sometimes you break into the egg, but don't worry, the shells actually don't come out with it. And so that's how you crack an egg with one hand, right? And I do have a little bit support with my middle finger on the base as well, but it's not applying too much pressure, it's just support. And that's how you crack an egg with one hand. Oh, I think there was one missing. So I was grabbing both just because it makes it easier. But honestly, I think you get a better mix when you hold them separately. Oh, my fries are frying fast. We're gonna give them a little bit more. We're gonna do timer. I use my oven timer. It makes it easier. But that's how you crack an egg with one hand. I did pause because we're going to see that. I find it that your experience in life is what you are supposed to learn from, right? The video, it was exciting. It was interesting to me. So it's my conscience basically telling me, it's like, hey, you want to have extra examples of why you're right about the nature and social selection topic. Here's a video. Here's a video literally showing you how women socially select, and it's not based on nature, right? Because if we want to talk nature, nature's always going to be selfish. But she was doing these things for Diddy, she says. But why go to court then? Why go to court if obviously you're gonna have examples like that she was out here trying to endorse that risky behavior? Then you're gonna get the truth there. I think it's done. I'm gonna do a little bit earlier. We only did for 1 minute. So I like to make my own fries. I have the fry cutter. It makes it easier to cut the fries up. I got the oil for my eggs ready. It's a lot of butter in there, a lot of oil. Try to get as much of your egg out as you can. Rinse it right now. A little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Then we're also gonna add our pepper. I like peppery eggs. It adds that contrast to the mildness that they have. And these are just tossed around, scrambled eggs. You want to have a medium to medium low heat because you don't want to overcook them. Make sure you have enough oil, but not too much because then you'll end up getting like a frittata, like it bubbles up. Oil, your eggs will soak up most of the oil that you end up using. So that's why sometimes you guys feel that your eggs are sticking to your pan. You just need to use a little bit more oil, or you need to make sure that you have the proper patience and control over your heat to know when the Maillard effect happens on your egg, and then you flip it, right? Scrambled eggs are the same. They're the same concept, basically. I'm gonna add a little bit of hot links to a sandwich. I'm just gonna use 2. Use 2. Now, we use our pan. That pan is like a grill pan, so it has little ridges on the bottom that will elevate the meat, sear the meat. In a grill-like pattern. Thank you. Okay. So, let me see this. I close it. And add a little bit of salt to our fries too. Oh, we should toast our buns too. So I'm gonna add mayo. Adding mayo instead of butter gives you a better sear, and then I like the taste more. But you don't get that creaminess that you sometimes get from your. You won't get that creaminess that you get from the mayo because it will just get absorbed by the bread. So we'll continue watching this right now.
escorts fly them from all over the country in order to engage in their baby oil-filled freak-offs. Now, what's interesting is that within Diddy's case, he has been found guilty of transportation, but I would love to propose to you guys here today, if Diddy was found guilty of transportation, then why was not Cassie? Because within the trial, the thinly woven veil of the "oh, woe is me, I am a victim" persona or brand that Cassie was trying to portray was quickly removed due to admissions like this one right here. Listen up.
Who actually organized this? I mean, who was doing the interactions with you, the payments and so on?
I only ever spoke to and interacted with Miss Ventura, from telephone calls, text messages, to when I was greeted at the hotel room, to even cordial conversations before and after the sexual play I described. All my interactions was with her.
It's very interesting that the person that was purporting to be the complete victim in this case, now, not victim of domestic violence, we know that she's the victim of that, but the victim in this kind of trafficking, transportation. It's interesting that this guy only had interactions with Cassie. This gentleman would also go on to explain a story about how he was unable to make one of their rendezvous, and Cassie just so quickly asked, "Hey, do you got anyone else that can substitute for you?"
I'm with my girlfriend at Six Flags, and she called up and was like, "Yo, are you free?" And usually when I would come through, it would be like 3 days in a row. I'll come Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So I'm like, "Yo, you know what? I'm at Six Flags. Can I come the next day?" And she was like, "Oh, yo, if you can't make it, can you send somebody else?" What? And bro, I was butthurt, right?
Wow.
Whoa.
You thinking you just
I
was just about to go there, bro, because you've been getting this money consistently. No, but I'm saying, like, I would have felt some type of way about that.
Yeah, and also I think I'm special.
Discover your next favorite band before they ever meet each other.
When you hear a good voice, gotta hit the button.
This is make it or break it. I'm excited.
Take a look at me. I need to feel that connection between you guys.
If everybody's fighting to be heard, no one's gonna shine.
We might be looking at the winner right here.
This is Building the Band.
Right.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
boyfriend, girlfriend scenario.
Because I believed that at the time when this was going on, I thought I was the only guy they were doing this with. Because when she first called me, it was like, it's my birthday, did something special. So, you know, the few people I told, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm Cassie's guy, you know, when she, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ego shit.
So when she said just send anybody else, I was just like, oh man, like I'm just.
Did you refer somebody?
Hell no. I made up some excuse to my girl. Hey, yo, something happened. We got to go.
Cassie's freak apparently knows no bounds. And again, if Diddy is getting prosecuted on all of this, then why is not Cassie? Now, up until this point, we've only seen this male escort, the Punisher, speaking about his experiences in public interviews. But now there's another. And this gentleman is not only speaking about it, but he's suing both Diddy and Cassie for how he's been wronged.
As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who would choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on the course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset.
Now, Poetic Flacco, friend of the channel, did an amazing breakdown of the situation, so let's go over to him for the reporting.
Cassie just received the worst possible news she could have ever gotten, and this is coming days after Diddy was acquitted on charges accusing him of trafficking her. This new development could bankrupt Cassie and take away all $30 million that she received for being a victim of Diddy. Back in 2024, when the feds were investigating Diddy for racketeering, trafficking, among other charges, they had a conversation with Cassie. Cassie was cooperative, and the feds asked Cassie to give them a list of names of the male escorts that her and Diddy had freak-offs with. Cassie gave the feds a bunch of names. A lot of the names that Cassie gave was brought up at trial, and some of them was called to testify, one of them being the Punisher. And all the escorts that were called to testify during the Diddy trial, they all testified that Cassie was who booked them and Cassie was who paid them. One escort in particular, Clayton Howard, he took it beyond Cassie just booking him. See, Clayton has a great deal of resentment for Cassie because he feels like Cassie involved him in something by giving his name to the feds that he didn't want to be involved in. So when he spoke to the feds, he went out of his way to notify the feds that he believed that Cassie was a co-conspirator, that Cassie was just as bad as Diddy, and that Cassie used Diddy power to torment the lives of other people.
One, I was in an economic position where I really needed the money. 2, Mr. Combs is incredibly powerful, and Miss Ventura had no problem in
So y'all are seeing, right? Y'all are seeing how the dynamics are actually working. When a woman wants to get with a man, it's not because that man has a big dig, that man has what's it called, the stature, he's tall, none of that stuff. It's the underlying things of what made that man that, right? So having a big dick doesn't mean you know how to use it, right? So if you do have one, women will look for you, but then once they have sex with you, it's just instant gratification. It's like, okay, all he had was a big dick, that's cool. And then they leave, right? What they're looking for is that power. So when why Cassie fought and allowed Diddy to do all those things was because she was benefiting from that too, right? There was power dynamics that she was able to say or talk about because of her. Should I put coleslaw on this? I think it looks good like this. What do you guys think? Huh? What do you guys think? It looks good like this. It's a little breakfast sandwich. Kind of like a sausage, egg, and cheese. I think the coleslaw is gonna ruin it. Right? So we're not gonna add it. We are gonna cut it in half, though. dogs were barking at the mailman, so I went to go check. But he's fine. Oh, you guys want to see it? Simple, not too complicated. A breakfast. It's just breakfast. The sauce is spicy though, for sure. Okay. It's just my point, right? My point is that women are choosing natural are not choosing based on their nature. They're choosing based on their social dynamics, right? Are they girls that want to be the hot shit around the friend group, and they're gonna get involved in shallow relationships? Are they the girls that want to have a career? Then they're gonna want commitment. All these things. It's BS, right? Anyways, we're not going to finish it. We're gonna close off so I can eat. I have other stuff I need to do. I need to call attorneys and do some legal things, and call my graphic designer because I don't know what happened to my website. But yeah, we're pretty good. We're pretty good over here. Thank you guys for watching. Again, this is Empire Meals. We're gonna cook every time. We're mostly every time gonna cook, and then we're gonna cover other little topics. But yeah, no, I don't think that women are selecting men based on their nature. I think women are selecting men based on their social cues. Again, that's the point of this one, right? And why did I make breakfast? Who knows? Maybe I'll find the answer later. It's comfort food, right? When it comes to the consumption of how people operate, they'll consume what they're used to or what they're comfortable with. Something that's familiar to their culture or to their upbringings. Huevito con Winnie. Makes sense. Alright, thank you guys. Bye-bye.